Very simple. Number one, it's very simple. The deep state must be destroyed to free the American people. Is there any question about that? Is there any question about that? We have to destroy the deep state, and this is elements of the Pentagon, the Justice Department, the FBI, the CIA, certain elements that work under DNI, those 17 intelligence agencies, also parts of the State Department, the USAIDs of the world. That inner apparatus controls the government, and when President Trump tries to do something, they're always trying to thwart his actions, right? You see the leaks. When Homan's sending these brave men and women into Los Angeles to do these raids, like the raid about the children trafficked to the marijuana farm to work, they're lying in wait for him. They're lying in wait for the agents. They got weapons to shoot. How does the protesters? Because somebody inside leaked it to them. Somebody inside leaks it to the media. That's the deep state every day.
That's it. Come on, you guys. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Developing Dad podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to everybody that is subscribing, liking. We're gonna do this thing this time. Come on, y'all. All right. So, man, he says it. He lays it out right there. The deep state must be destroyed. I'm going to actually change this because I'm going to change the title. Thank you to everybody. It's a relaxed Sunday live. All right. Hopefully you all went and worshiped the Lord Jesus Christ today. All right. Let's do it. If you didn't, you can still, I don't know, they might have a late night church service. Go find one. Y'all need to be a part of worshiping the Lord. All right. But look at this. He's not the only one. Okay. Destroy the deep state. It's not the only one. This is Tulsi Gabbard. Come on, here we go.
The campaign was hard. You think what President Trump went through was hard, and it was. The road ahead will not be easy. I can attest personally that in my work as the Director of National Intelligence, the deep state is fighting us every step of the way. And it exists within every single federal agency. And so I feel the same frustration that I see many of you expressing on X or in different platforms about why aren't things going faster? Why aren't we getting results more quickly? I feel this frustration every single day. We are pushing hard. Know that they are pushing hard back.
All right. So that's it. This is the problem right now. Some people, and thank you to everybody. Look how close we are to 10,000 subs. Hopefully we will get it tonight. We have a celebration planned. A little, not celebration. I ain't gonna pop bottles or anything like that. But thank you to everybody that's tuning in. We've got to get to the point where we recognize that this, and look, this Epstein thing, we're talking about it still because of the implications of the deep state. That's the issue. Who's trying to suppress this list? Is Trump a part of the deep state? Is it the deep state pushing back against him? What is the issue? And we need to get to the bottom of it. There are multiple people pushing back. You got, Bannon, Tulsi Gabbard, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens. I mean, the list goes on and on of people who are trying their best to push back against all of this. But we also want to celebrate the wins. But they're making this harder on us. Thank you to everybody that's tuning in. When you come in, if you could like the video and let me know where you're from, I will shout you out. If you're within the first, I think 5 to 10 minutes, we'll shout you out if you come in and say hello. But we're asking these questions, and we're not going to let this go away because we want the deep state destroyed. We don't want the security apparatus, the intelligence apparatus, whoever it is, to be running things behind the scenes and subverting the will of the American people. We voted for certain things. We want to see those things happen. Now, we got a couple more Bannon clips because he just went in, right? He went in. I'm going to let him finish this clip, though. Let him finish this clip, okay?
It must be destroyed. We're not free. The second resolve is quite simple. You don't give the deep state the consent of the governed. Therefore, it's your responsibility to destroy it. It's a sacred duty and a responsibility of the American people, American citizens. No cavalry is going to come and save you. No foreign country is going to come and save you. No Deus ex machina is going to come down. No fairy dust is going to appear. You have to do it yourself, correct? It's our responsibility. And number 3, whoever is not with us is against us. Right? If you're not with us, you can't be neutral in this. If you're with us, you're with us. If you're neutral, I don't know, then you're against us. This has to happen. And President Trump, I think you're going to see, and when he's identifying these prosecutors, he's going after it. He's going after who set up Crossfire Hurricane. He's going after the Russia hoax. He's going to go after the 2020 election and how it was stolen and who's responsible for it being stolen. Right? And I hope he gets to January 6th. You got to get to January 6th. When I was in prison, you had these January 6th people that had just walked by the Capitol. And what were they? They were sitting there in prison for nothing more than supporting the President of the United States.
Right. And so what's going on, RR? Welcome to the live. We appreciate everybody, even, dissenters, agreeers, whatever. Just come on in and let's have the conversation. Now, we see Steve Bannon is actually pushing for not just the Epstein files, he wants to bring the entire thing down. And I'm with him. I don't want a deep state deciding what our future is going to look like. He mentioned it in this other clip here. I'm going to play this longer form clip. Okay, this is from the War Room, that one. Let's look at this one. He says it in an even shorter clip. All right, this is a look, this is a very relaxed Sunday live. Right? We're not gonna go as hard on the Sunday live. We're gonna let me see. Hold on one second. We're gonna have a little relaxed, chill stream. I'm always a little bit more forgiving on Sunday.
They're laughing at us. The only way we do this is to tell them nothing else happens until we take this on. If we don't take down the deep state in this term, it's over. This is America's last chance.
You may not agree, right? But he's right. They're laughing at us. That's a great question, Mitchell. I generally don't answer questions that don't come in the form of super chats, but it's a great question. And I did mention it earlier, so I will reiterate. That's the question. Because we're trying to figure out, the question is Trump a part of the deep state now that he's protecting the Epstein list? And that is a legitimate question, because the reasons why he could be protecting it is that he's in it, that he is afraid to release it because the deep state will 1 year later finish the job that they started. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Or he's using it as a blackmail tool to keep the deep state in line while he tries to enact his American first agenda. Now, here's the problem with that. This is a thought experiment, right? Let's say you enact your America First agenda, President Trump. Let's say you get it all done. And in 2028, the deep state is still there. Couldn't they just undo everything that you've done after you're gone? That's the question. So if the deep state is the problem, right? If the deep state is the problem and you leave them in power, you're essentially doing good for 4 years, but you're still leaving the cancer uncured. Well, couldn't we see the cancer make it reappear? If you didn't cure it, you still have it. It's still there in operation. So that's one of the reasons why there's so much pushback going on, is because we don't know what's the point, what's the end goal from President Trump in not releasing the Epstein list. Right? What's the end goal in not releasing it? Are you trying to protect certain people that are your friends, or protect certain government officials, famous people, politicians? What? right? And again, guys, I only really answer super chats, right? So if you want me to actually answer your question, send it in the form of a super chat, 99 cent, anything, I'll answer it. But I have a rundown that I'm trying to get through while this is the rundown of the entire show, and I have a certain amount of time to get it done. Okay. So I don't want to get sidetracked too much, but because at the beginning of the video, Bannon talks about what the deep state is. Okay. Intelligence apparatus, CIA, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right. So, but then he also talks about this possibility. Yeah. So the possibility of Steve Bannon says the GOP could lose 35 to 40 House seats if they don't fully release the Epstein files. Right? Right? It's a possibility. Because the midterms, although some people don't believe that they're going to happen, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. We got some clips lined up to talk about that as well. But thank you to everybody that's coming in. If you like the video on your way in, right, double tap that screen, give me that like the video. Yes, thank you to everybody that is commenting on the side, right? Even if it's insults, go for it, right? Go for it. That keeps the engagement up. Thank you. Okay, now Steve Bannon says that the GOP could lose 35 to 40 House seats. That may be overestimating, it may be underestimating, who knows? But rest assured, the base isn't happy with the current situation. So we're asking the question, right? People ask it, right? Well, this is the question, right? Why you always lying? Why you always lying? You're starting to look like the Democrats. So did I hit that? All right, there you go. I hit that button too. All right. Yeah. He said, I give you this, bro. You have thick skin. Yeah, I don't really care what these people say about me. Caleb, that's one of the things about being confident in Christ. Some bot or random anonymous person online saying things about me, it doesn't matter. Right. Right. Let them talk. Keep that engagement up. Right. Keep that engagement up. Yeah. That's what they say. What? Monetize your haters. Right. That's what that's what the young kids say these days. Monetize them. Right. Let them keep talking. I'm not going to block them. Yeah. Let them keep talking. Okay. Now, because the numbers. Right. The numbers. Right. Yes. All right. So, and yes, we don't believe that, right? People are saying that the first 4 years weren't. I voted for him in 2020 for the first time because of the first 4 years. I liked the way he governed, and so I gave him my vote in 2020. I didn't in 2016. Didn't. I was like, not yet. This is not. And then in 2024, I voted for him again, right? So, yeah. So, right, that's it. Don't block your audience. If they're gonna sit here for an hour and a half and call me names. Yeah, there it is, right? And the crazy thing is, they believe that every comment that they put in there is the most important one and that it should be answered. And I have a show to run. I get thousands of comments on these videos. If I answered every one, they think that theirs is the most important. If I answered every one, I wouldn't be able to get through my rundown, right? So if you really want to get my opinion on something, then support the show, right? My time is valuable. My time is valuable. So I'm not just gonna give it to people who, is what it is. But yeah, so we're gonna play this clip because I got something else that I want to do something. I got something to take care of real quick. All right. So he talks about this one a little bit. Yeah, that's from the War Room. Right, this clip, okay? Yeah. See? All right.
Media had 8 minutes of President Trump, asked 20 questions and didn't mention it once. So even President Trump thinks it's over.
And so, Steve, what is your recommendation, your suggestion on how to fix this?
There's only one way to fix this. We have to come out of Tampa, just like the Patriots did on doing like the Boston Resolves. We have to come out with the Tampa Resolves. 2 or 3 action steps by Sunday afternoon. We're all committed to, all of us, to say this must happen. And I think it's special prosecutor ever. But we have to say no more, nothing. We have to go forward with this. And the reason we're going forward with this, we're there to assist and augment President Trump, to help save President Trump's presidency, because they are coming for another coup. You can see it happening. Just like the dark clouds were around Kennedy, right? They moved in and moved in and moved in. They assassinated Diem in Vietnam, and then they blew his head off in the middle of the day in Dallas, Texas, with a patsy named Lee Harvey Oswald that we find out 62 years later was on the payroll of the CIA after they looked your parents in the eye and lied to them for 60 years. They're going to lie about everything today and hope that 70 years from now, nobody will care about it. Do you care about it? If we don't come out of here united with Turning Point, as powerful as Turning Point is, if we don't come out of here and say, no more, nothing more, we must have this, because if we don't take down the deep state, we're going to lose the entire country. And they think they're winning. They're laughing at us right now. They're laughing at you. They're mocking you. This is the Epstein is the question's very simple. Who governs this country? The American people or the deep state? Do they have the consent of the governed on what they're doing right now? I hear a lot of talk. We're going to see some action.
Now, Steve.
All right. So what do you all think about that? Let me know. I mean, I'm trying to take care of something on my real quick. Something I was reminded of something that I needed to take care of. But he lays it out, right? That's where he talks about that video I mentioned earlier, where he talks about they blew Kennedy's head off in broad daylight and then gaslit the American people into believing that it was somehow not a deep state conspiracy and a coordinated effort to get Kennedy out of the way, because Kennedy was thwarting some of the things that they wanted to do. Right? I mean, are we going to let them do that again? That's the question. Okay, I had to figure that out. All right, but again, that's it. So who governs the country? Who governs the country? Right? We're going to talk about that too, about the rapture and Zionism as well. But that's what we've got to discuss. Hello, thank you to everybody that's tuning in. If you could like the video on your way in, that would be very helpful. I appreciate you all. Right? I appreciate you all. Yes. Okay. Now, yeah, let's see. Let me see did I miss anything while I was doing that thing on my phone? I had to take care of that. Right? All right. Not really. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Not really. Not much. All right. Yeah. We're going to talk about Israel. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Zionism. We got to talk about a lot of different things. But the first thing we're talking about is Bannon's, that's why I titled the video Midterms, Markings, and Manners. So we're going to talk about the fact that there's a line being drawn. There's a line being drawn. Lines of demarcation. It's serious business, because Trump could lose his entire base. Thank you, Josh Evans. I appreciate you, right? You did both tired. All right. So Trump could lose his base, and the base is splitting over this. This is important stuff. Thank you to everybody that's too. We're almost to 10,000, guys. Look at that. 19 away. Woohoo. All right. So now this is where it gets very interesting, because we've got people who are now openly admitting, or openly I'm just going to, she's just basically going to say it. I can't even, I'm going to let her speak for herself. Right, here we go.
I have spent the last 17 years in my own prison for what she, Jeffrey, and all the co-conspirators did to me. I was raped repeatedly. I was raped 3 times a day sometimes. And I was not the only girl on that island. There was a constant stream of girls being raped over and over and over again. And yes, Ghislaine must die in prison because I've been in hell and back for the last 17 years.
And 27 for me.
I was 10 years old when Liz Stein was being trafficked. I was 10. That is how long the sex trafficking ring has been going on.
So now nothing to see here. And you're right. Trump's body language, it changes. And he starts gaslighting whenever the subject of the Epstein files is brought up, right? Let's just bring this back up here. Okay. And so that's why we need to keep pressing this. Yes, Caleb, this is sad. So that's why people keep bringing it up. We're not bringing it up for our health, because we know that there are powerful people in our government making decisions and in other governments making decisions that should be behind bars. Almost there. We got six left. 6 left to go, right? 6 left to go. Thank you to everybody. Thank you. All right. So it's a big milestone, guys. I'm pretty excited. I ain't going to lie, right? 5 left to go. Yes, right? Okay. So we're going to keep it going. But that's why they're gaslighting us. You're still talking about this? Yes, these women are still talking about this. Whoever's implicated in those files needs to be behind bars. I don't care who. Oh, there it is. We got it. 10,000 subs. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. Right. We're going to make a little party noise. Maker, right? I didn't want to do the fire. I didn't want to do the fireworks because that would have been loud. But 10,000 subs. Thank you to everybody that has made this happen. Elsa Olsen. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I actually had the goal of getting 10,000 subs by the end of the year. That was my goal. That was my goal, guys. So thank you to everybody. Thank you. I appreciate everybody that's subscribing. Thank you. Yes. Woo woo. Thank you. Yes, I know, right? I know, man. I'm thinking the same thing. Nice. Thank you to everybody. I'm putting those up on there on the screen. Yes. 10,000 subs. I know that. He said, dang, that was quick. It was, because I was at 6,700 or something like that when I started 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Thank you. Whoop, whoop. Yes. Thank you, TY. Thank you. Yeah. But I said, well, I'll try to get to 10,000 by the end of the year. And I was like, it's going to take some time, slow grow. But hey, other plans. Right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Yeah, it's a snowball effect. You're absolutely right, because it was like, right. Look at that. I mean, I'm like, yeah, thank you. I appreciate you all. Thank you. Yes. I'm going to put all of these up here, right? Yes. And that's why I think part of the reason why is essentially what's happening is with my podcast and it's just that people are asking questions. Thank you. People are asking questions. I'm not afraid to call out Donald Trump. I don't worship Donald Trump, right? Now, there's some people who think that if you voted for him, you worship him. If you want America first, you worship Donald Trump. No, I just want a good life for my children and my children's children's children. And I don't want to be like France and the UK. I don't want that, right? I don't want it. So I would like to see Donald Trump govern properly. I would like to see him govern according to good, sound principles. And so, yes, if he does something well, I'm going to say, yes, he did that well. If he does something like this Epstein cover up, I'm going to say, nope, we can't. Right? Right? We can't. We can't allow this. As the American people, we need to push back. Right? I know. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. I actually had a phone call. With a brother who told me that today, a brother in Christ who told me that exact same thing today. Some people at our church told us that today. It is really a blessing to be, for that to be recognized, because that's the exact thing that I'm going for. Whether or not you agree with my political ideals or my theology, I want you to be able to say, man, that guy is loving his family well and he's trying to do what's right by them. Right? Yes, that's the whole, if you see me in my personal life and you say that, yes, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right. And so we need to be pushing back, and I'm trying to use my platform as much as I can. Obviously, I'm not as big as the Candace Owens and the Tucker Carlsons and the like. But if the chorus is loud enough of the American people, then maybe we could get them to start recognizing that, and again, that's another great question, because Biden didn't release the list, right? Obama didn't release the list. Trump in his first, we're asking the same. That's why we hoped that Trump would do it, because it was a campaign promise. Like, do what you said. Do what you said. All right. But this is why, because these young 10 years old being trafficked. He's stopping it at the border. He's closing off the pipeline at the border. Okay, now be consistent and close off that pipeline in the intelligence agencies. That's what we're saying. Right? Get the PDF files out of the intelligence agency and not the Adobe type. Get them out. That's the sad reality. Now we're going to talk about this too, because this is important, right? We're the 1 year anniversary of Butler. This is why it's so frustrating, right? Yeah. This is why it's so frustrating. The most frustrating part about it is that this last year, this time, we were truly, and I'll leave the music off, but I'll talk. But this, y'all know who this is. Crooks, right? Walking around, looking up, security failure, right? He's up there walking around. 1 year anniversary of this incident where they tried to take his head off. If they did it once, man, don't play ball with him. If they did it, if they were willing to do it once, and CNN was there, they were covering it. This was clearly supposed to be Kennedy 2.0. That's what this was supposed to be. JFK 2.0. We were supposed to see him get his head. And that would have stopped off. Whoa, hold on a second. Yes. Alan Dershowitz, we talked about that 2 days ago. Yesterday, 2 days ago. He has all the names. Right? So, if they were willing to do it once, why wouldn't they do it again? Don't play ball with them. Right? Yeah, CNN was not covering Trump's rallies live, and they just happened to be there. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, they did try more times. Right. They tried. Right. They did try. You're right about that, Cliff. Exactly. Cliff said they did try a second time. Right. So what do you want? What are we supposed to think about this? Now are you playing ball with them after they tried to just right, the golf course. Right. Thank you, Jasper. I appreciate you. Yeah. So what are we supposed? Now you're playing ball with them. So what are we as your base supposed to think? What are we? Oh well, you know what? Yeah, you may think you're not protect. Well, these young women, you're not protecting them. Justice is not being served. Now that's the cool thing about, again, as those of us that are Christians, we recognize that the deep state will not get away with these things forever. There is a day coming when they will be judged. We get that. We're grateful for that. But what we're looking forward to is an opportunity to have them charged and punished for their crimes here too. That's what we'd like to see happen. Right? The people rejoice. We should rejoice when people who are doing evil things get brought down. Okay? Yeah. 10,000 guys. Just to be honest, I'm still kind of geeking out about this, that it happened so quickly. I was not expecting. I was like, oh, around December, Christmas time, right? Christmas time is here. It's going to be a Christmas present. 10,000 subscribers. I appreciate you all. Now, this is a part of the problem that we have. Yeah, let's talk about this, because I'm just going to put this up here. Hold on one second. Let me change the I'm not going to say that. I want to say this. Yeah, here we go. Not this. I want to change that to this. We're going to put this up here. All right, and we're going to change the name, because I didn't do this. I want to do this. Right? We're going to change that. Oh wait, and we got to talk about all the headlines too. I forgot. I'm looking at the rundown and I didn't look at this one. But think about all the right. What you say? You say you got to celebrate with your wife now. She's actually excited about this, because I talked to her about all of my goals about the page, and I was, and she's watching it and she's like, "Are you serious?" Like this, she's looking at. She said she was gonna be on, but she might be doing something else. I told her we might get 10,000 tonight, baby. She said she's gonna be on. Look, watch this, baby. I don't know if she can hear me. We got 10,000. Anyway, but she'll see it, because I'm gonna show her the analytics. But look at all of these headlines, right? Look at all these headlines. Trump, the Secret Service rushes Trump. Well, let's see. Off stage, right? After he falls at rally. He fell. Oh, he fell. Right? Let's see. Well, hold on, y'all. Let me he fell, right? Trump injured in incident. Trump removed from the stage by Secret Service after loud noises startled former president and crowd. Loud noises. Loud noises. Secret Service rushes Trump off stage after popping noises heard at his Pennsylvania rally. Secret Service. Trump safe after being rushed off Pennsylvania stage after gunshot-like sounds. Right? Trump escorted away after loud noises at Pennsylvania rally. Loud noises, right? Somebody was ringing a cowbell. Right? They were ringing a cowbell, and then they rushed Trump off. Right? They were like, "Oh no!" Right? Oh goodness! And then look, this is
no question
it right
about
here.
that. But as you point out, those statements from J.D. Vance and Vivek Ramaswamy, of course, President Trump and his supporters have contributed to this violent rhetoric as well.
Well, absolutely, George.
Blame
We were
him.
just
Yeah,
looking
blame
back this
Trump.
morning
Let's
at
see.
some of the things
Wow.
that former President Trump has said. He warned last March of potential death and destruction if he were charged by the Manhattan District Attorney. Our country is being destroyed as they tell us to be peaceful. Trump in January warned of bedlam in the country if the criminal charges against him succeeded. And of course, in March, he said, now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That will be the least of it. He said he was partly joking and that was taken out of context. But those are indeed his words. And you have heard it from supporters as well. And supporters are certainly, in some parts, angry. And let's remember January 6th. In so many ways for the campaign, January 6th will probably be in the background after yesterday's event. This is a very difficult time for this campaign. I'm sure this week in Milwaukee that President Trump will highlight this, and President Biden is going to have to figure out how to go forward with his campaign and what exactly they say.
Martha.
Why you always lying?
So they'll just tell you whatever, right? They brought it back to this is all Trump's fault. That's the left's. So anything happens, so the floods happen, right? Act of God, flood happens. This wouldn't have happened if Kamala was president. Kamala controls the weather now. It's like she Storm. I didn't see the new X-Men movie. I don't know if she played Storm, but she has control over the weather. She could have stopped all of this. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Right? This wouldn't have happened if Kamala was elected. No. This is insane. But yes, thank you. Not your average poppy. Thank you. These people, the headlines, right? Trying to downplay what actually happened. I mean, this is what we get. Now, I'm no fan of, right? I know Uncle Ruckus, no relation. Thank you, Phyllis Foster. I love you. All right. So the problem is we've got so many things to deal with when it comes to the left. Now it's on the right. We've got Zionism to deal with. Because we got Leo Terrell out here talking about eliminating taxes. Right? That he will eliminate Jewish taxes? Bro, what? What is going on? Why are we talking about eliminating? Can we talk about that for American citizens? But nah. Oh boy. Straight up Zionist. Right? That's what I'm supposed to change this. Right? I'm going to eliminate Jewish tax in America. You would think Leo Terrell would be trying to do something for American citizens. And then you're black. So you sounded like Kamala, right?
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
What is going on? What is going on, guys? Like, this is... How are these people allowed to govern in our nation when the first thing they think about is how I can help Israel? Ted Cruz, I wanted to go into politics to be the strongest supporter of Israel in the United States Congress. Sir, you live in America. Why do you care so much about? But again, Genesis 12:3, right? That's what somebody's going to come in here and say it as though it's the only scripture in the Bible. So we got Leo talking about eliminating taxes, hanging out with his ace number one. Exactly, Daniel. Daniel Wheeler says it. They're allowed to govern because Americans stand for this garbage. Exactly. And the vast majority of Christians have been indoctrinated into dispensational Zionism, and that's the air that you breathe if you're in an evangelical church, for the most part. Let's see if we do this so my keyboard's not showing in the back. I don't understand how this guy here is so Israel first. But it is what it is. I mean, oh boy. But it's that money, right? I just want some money. He just want that money. He just want the money, right? That's it. And so I don't understand it, man. He wants to eliminate Jewish. Like those words coming out of your mouth. You didn't stop and think, I want to eliminate taxes for Jewish people in America. But never once did you think, you know what? My kinsmen according to the flesh, I would probably I want to eliminate taxes for them. My kinsmen according to the flesh. Because I can promise you that Israel is not going to think one time about eliminating taxes for Black Americans in Israel. They're not thinking about you. They're not. They don't love Leo Terrell the way Leo Terrell loves them. It is not a reciprocal relationship between Ted Cruz and the nation state of Israel. As soon as he is of no benefit to them, they will wash their hands of him. They look at Ted Cruz as sub. He is not like the nation state of Israel. They don't look at him as though he's on the same level as them. They're using him, the nation state of Israel, for their best interest. I'm talking about the nation state. I'm not talking specifically about any group, any particular person. I'm saying the nation state is the governing body, nation state of Israel. They're looking at American, I guess, what is it? Allies, if you want to call it that. I'm like, well, we're using you until we can't use you anymore, right? So, yeah. Anyway, what's going on in the comments? Let's see. All right. Let's see. Yeah, we got some interesting stuff going on in the comments, right? Okay. Y'all having some good conversations over there. Interesting. All right. Well, enjoy. You keep it going, right? Don't forget to like the video on your way in. We got 494 in here and 100 likes. Let's get some. But thank you to everybody that's liking, commenting, and subscribing. Yes. All right. So, yes, we are definitely not Zionist over here, right? Yeah. I've done a video recently. Zionism is toxic. I look at it as a toxic form of Christianity. Let's show you what's this. I'm gonna pull this up. Hold on. It went over to the wrong. Yeah. Dale Partridge. This is a very good post. Okay. Listen to this. Okay. Dispensationalism is cancer for Christendom. I met a married Christian man and if this is all true, listen. I met a married Christian man with children in his 30s yesterday who said, we're not going to purchase a home. Jesus is coming back so soon. We're just going to keep renting. This is not an isolated thing. I've heard people talk like this. Eschatology, that's the eschaton. Eschatos is the Greek word for last. But eschatologist means the study of the last things. Shapes everything. It builds or it burns. It works or it waits. It pushes men to plant orchards and build cathedrals, or it paralyzes them into waiting, thinking that the world is a sinking ship. Saints, what you believe about the return of Christ will determine if you live a legacy or leave nothing at all. This man said, I'm not going to buy a house because Jesus is coming back soon. In his 30s. Not leaving a legacy. Not leaving he's not going to own anything of substance to possibly leave to his children. They don't have kids. They believe in all of this, the imminent, right? Because the language in the scriptures does, if you read it divorced from its context, it could make you believe that Jesus is coming back tomorrow. But if you read it as though you're a first century reader, you'll understand that the quickness and the speed was for their benefit, because things were going to ratchet up quickly. That's why I'm not a futurist. I'm a preterist. I believe that those prophecies were fulfilled in 70 AD. And so I think we're going to be here for quite some time. So I'm trying to train my children to be industrious, talented, change the next generation of my family line to be greater than what I am. So I'm not thinking, oh, well, I don't want to own a house. No, I want to own multiple properties. I'd like to own multiple businesses. I own 2 already. I want to own another one. I'm trying to turn this channel into a business, a thriving business. So everything I put my hand to becomes greater, because I don't think that Christ is coming back tomorrow. I think we are well away from his return. I don't see it as happening within the next 5 to 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. So, if you believe like this, you're paralyzed. You don't build. You can eschew marriage and say, I won't get married because the Lord's coming back tomorrow. Like, really? Oh, okay. So that seems really weird. Right. It seems really, really weird. So yeah, you can indulge on food and corn and do whatever you want, entertainment and video games and everything, because you're not leaving anything. Let me eat and be merry. Eat, drink, and be merry. Because tomorrow I die. I'm not leaving anything to anybody, and it doesn't matter. This is what Zionism, and it's it's a pernicious doctrine. And it falls a lot in line with a lot of the wicked doctrines that the left pushes. Right? So again, I'm not a fan of it. Futurism doesn't really help. Yeah. Yes, we have Zionism fatigue. Essentially, the Christian sect that, well, my wife sent me something. She said, "Yay!" Then when I got to 10,000, yes. Okay, so yeah, she said, "Yay, yay!" When we got 10,000. So Christian Zionism is a sect that elevates Israel to a place of prominence that the scriptures don't teach, and creates an idol out of the nation state of Israel. And our foreign policy and theology and practice has been the slave of this theology, whether you have the Ted Cruzes, the Leo Terrells, etc., Zionists that litter our political landscape and prioritize Israel over America, right? Yeah. Right. Even if you are a futurist, right. And that because again, I would interpret those texts a little bit differently than you're interpreting them about the future imminent. But I'm looking at it from this perspective. Every time eschatology is mentioned by one of the writers, the people who walked with Jesus or were taught by him, they say exactly what you say. Continue to live. Like, don't stop doing your normal day-to-day thing and also preach the gospel. The coming of Jesus Christ should, even for those first century people, and I believe that coming meant something different, but I'm not going to get into a preterist versus futurist debate on the show. That's not what this episode is all about. But yeah, yeah. So then we have these type of videos that pop up. Yes, continue to live in Christ. Exactly, Steve. Exactly. All right. So then we have these type of videos that pop up where, y'all, this is, you start seeing this all too often. Like,
hi, Jesus. You're so beautiful. Jesus, when are you coming back? We need you. I need you.
And so this lady is posting this. I'm not going to post the whole video because I'm not trying to make fun of the kid, right? But this woman, it's more about the woman who's posting this in Acts 2:17, saying, in the last days, your young men will see visions. We're going home soon, church family. Joel 2 was in your Joel 2:25. That's the prophecy that's being fulfilled in Acts 2:17. 2:17, Acts 2:17 is the fulfillment of Joel 2:25. So the scripture that she's posting is essentially saying, hey guys, what you're seeing right now is Joel 2:25. That's what Peter's saying. Now, she, as a futurist, has said that 2,000 years later, and people have been saying this for, that's why Zionism is so crazy. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is insane. They look for every little thing that's a sign, everything. It's a vision. It's this, it's that. I'm like, but Peter was essentially saying in Acts 20, I mean, look, you know what? We just go. Let's just go. We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. Because Peter says the insane thing is that Peter actually says it. But Peter, standing with the 11, lifted up his voice and addressed them, men of Judea and all who dwell in Jerusalem. Let this be known to you, and give ear to my words. For these people are not drunk, as you suppose, since it is only the 3rd hour of the day. But this is what was uttered through the prophet Joel. And in the last days it shall be, God declares, that I will pour out my spirit on all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. Even on my male servants and female servants in those days I will pour out my spirit, and they shall prophesy, and I will show wonders in the heavens. And he just keeps going to men of Israel. He said, this is what y'all are seeing, that thing. It was happening on the day of Pentecost. So she's posting this as though this is happening today, when the scripture that she posted, the one right before it, says that it happened. Right? It's happening right now. It was happening then. Oh, goodness. But yeah, so that's why Zionism, I believe, is a toxic reading of the scripture that causes people to take their eyes off of Christ and elevate Israel to a place of prominence that competes with what our mission should be here on this earth. Okay? Now, and just so you know, guys, I cannot, for the sake of my show, I can't answer every one of your questions. If members and moderators, I do put their stuff on the screen, but I can't just put any and everybody's comments on the screen, guys. So I know some of you want me to answer your questions, but I can't derail the show for every person that thinks that their question is the most important thing. If it's in the form of a super chat, I will address it. Okay. Now, and I know people are going to get mad and say, well, I'm not paying you to ask a question. Okay, you don't have to, but that's my show. I got to run it the way I want to run it. Okay. Now, so we've got the Zionism fatigue. Okay. Now, this is something that was very interesting that I thought, we're going to look at it. Yeah, let's do this. We'll do this one. Okay. We're going to take that down. We talked about this earlier that, yes, Michael Wilbur says, I'm the one. You're not no one, Michael. You know that. You know that already. I put your stuff on the screen before, right? Yes, I know I have. All right. Let's see. What is this? Is it not showing up? Okay. I'm going to have to go find it. Hold on one second. Yeah. You've been hanging out here long enough, right? Yes. Yeah, guys. I mean, I'm running the show. Yeah, I know. I don't understand why that's not. I guess again, I talk about this to when people have used to getting special treatment. You know, just regular treatment feels like discrimination. I know, guys. I don't know. I guess I should run my show the way y'all want me to, right? I don't know. I do take advice from people on how to run my show. I do take advice. Yeah, I do. All right. So this is so for some reason, I don't know why this had, let's see. Yeah, let's listen in. All right,
really might feel a way about telling y'all how many
second.
days are left to the mid.
Let me go back to the beginning. All right, here we go. Okay.
I think me and Tiff really might feel a way about telling y'all how many days are left to the midterms. Because I don't really know these things gonna damn happen.
I say no. I think it's pointless. I get so frustrated when people start. Andrew already disagreeing with me, but I'm just gonna tell you, Andrew. I think it is pointless. When people start talking to me, like we just got to hold on for one more year, then the midterms. I'm like, hold on to what? What do we think the midterms are going to change? Like they have already instituted this authoritarian regime. And I don't know any post-industrialized country that has come this far into authoritarianism and turned around. So why we think all of a sudden we're going to have free and fair elections in this country for midterms, which we've never really had, as black folks know all too well, and as women know all too well. We've never really had that. But we think somehow in 480 days that we're going to have a better chance at democracy.
Now that is absolutely insane. They're saying that the midterms won't happen. This is the whole
They're going to
playbook.
put y'all back in chains.
They're going to put y'all back in chains. That is the Biden playbook, and every 2 years they run it. Y'all better watch out because they did authoritarianism. They're going to put y'all back in chains. That's it. Thank you to everybody that's coming back. And again, I start to recognize even trolls and people who are constant supporters. I appreciate you all, like Michael Wilbur and Nick Gibson. These are men that have been, moving forward. Right. I start recognizing names. Right. And if you're here quite often. So sometimes if you're here and you're a constant supporter, I might put that. Oh, wait, Brother Caleb, I missed your super chat. How did I miss your super chat? I must have been looking down. Yes, I'm being generous. Pick one of their questions and answers so they can feel special. Okay, brother. Okay. There you go. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. All right, let's see. If it's, hold on one second. Let's see. This is a good one. Control Delete. That's a good one. I'll answer the last one. Man, who followed Jesus more, including governments, out of these two countries, Russia or America? That is because Russia recognizes, right, the Orthodox Church. I would have to do some more research on that, but my gut is one way or another. I'm like, ooh, man, I don't know. I don't want to say anything because you know what? I may have to research that because I know that Russia is, because Tucker went and did his interview right in Russia, and the cleanliness of the stores and things like that. I don't know. That's a great question. Yeah, it's a great question. I would love if the fact that they don't allow freedom of religion and they demand that you, do they demand that you are a part of the Russian Orthodox Church? I don't have a problem with that with a national religion. I don't. Secularism is has been dominating America for generations now. So in being anti-religion, you essentially choose a religion, right? So I don't know. That is a great question. I wish I had a well thought out answer for it. My gut is telling me one thing, but I don't want to say anything without researching it. But that is a great question. I'm gonna that's Caleb's question. Maybe Caleb, you want to address that question in? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Nick. Right. So I'm like, oh, Nick. See, Nick says 71% is Christian. They don't allow, and you don't see Islam rising up over there. You don't see, yeah. Well, just my gut is saying. not here. My gut is saying not here. That's what my gut's saying. Yes. So yeah, that's what my because Christian, blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, right? If you bow the knee to Jesus and the markers of your society are Christian, and you have a government that says, well, you can build Buddhist temples and mosques and any type of religion can, you can have monuments to Belial and Baphomet, and I'm gonna go on and say yeah, it's a tough crowd. Nick, you right? Nick, 62% of Americans are Christian, right? That is less than the Russians, right? The numbers are looking like yes. Yeah. Oh, I want to answer that one by Brack Show because it's a really dumb statement, but I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone because I need to go to. Now, midterms, not going to happen, right? Because they're going
to put y'all back in chains.
They're going to put y'all back in chains, apparently. Because their authoritarianism is coming. They're going to put us back in chains in these camps during the midterms, even though they won the presidency they won the popular vote. And they're getting rid of all the illegals. By the midterms, she thinks that they're going to start. They think that they're going to start putting us in the concentration camps and force us to not be able to vote. They're going to disenfranchise black people. That's what they say, right? Right. What's going on, Chuck? Chuck, you're watching on Instagram and not on YouTube. You're missing out on all the fun, Chuck. Come on, what y'all doing? Get on over here to YouTube, Chuck. Anyway, yeah. So this is the Native Land Pod. It is a show where these three people get on there and talk about politics from the perspective of Black America. They speak for themselves, but they try to give the Black American perspective on politics, right? And so they're really good at drumming up. Right. So I shall disembark forthwith. Come and get somebody. Yeah, come over here to get this chat because I need Chuck in here. Chuck has known me in these internet streets for over 10 years now. Chuck, man, it's been a long time. Yeah, I don't even think I didn't have my youngest daughter when you. Yeah, wow. Yep. So yeah, they talk about a lot of different things from the perspective of blackness. Now. And they're not alone, guys. So listen, they're not alone. Just so you think that they might be a fringe. No. Yeah, the Great Schism of 1054, East-West Schism of the Church. Yes. So let's listen in to.
If you go and watch Joy Reid videos, if you get an opportunity to watch Joy Reid.
And this is Ricky Smiley, for those of you who do not know. He's a radio host and comedian. Yes, Chuck. Much better now. Much better. Much better.
Videos, go watch them. You'll learn a lot, especially her video on slavery. Oh, we're gonna wait till the midterm election comes. Ain't gonna be no midterm election. You better look into getting a dual citizenship somewhere, if you can, because things about to get ugly. Things about to get really ugly. Yep. And I'm scared. Scared. It might be a point where we might have to pack up our families and leave, because if ICE can get immigrants or whatever,
why you always lying?
And without their due process in court, why can't they do it to everybody else? Now they're doing it to Haitians. And who do you think is next? And they don't give a damn if you're a Democrat or a Republican. They don't care. Nah, they don't care. Get ready. These white supremacy concentration camps, they're all over the country. They're stocking up on weapons. and everything, as if they are preparing for a war, while we out here popping fans and boots on the ground. They got real boots on the ground.
You can't make this up.
Right, Chuck. Exactly. All right, his buffoonery is worse than Tom Joyner, Tony Brown, or Tavis Smiley. I haven't heard those people in so long. The Tom Joyner morning show. I haven't heard that. Wow. Yeah. Wow. This is insane. Like, they want y'all to believe this, right? They're going to put y'all where they putting y'all?
They're going to put y'all back in chains.
They're going to put y'all back in chains. Y'all better watch out, black people. They're going to put y'all back in chains, right? They're going to put y'all back in chains. Oh, no. Because every 2 years, they're going to put us back in chains. Every 2 years, we're going to be disenfranchised. Every 2 years, the government is coming after us. Every 2 years, there's an explosion of racist incidents that cause us to remember who the enemy is. Right? That's what happens. And so the playbook stays the same every 2 to 4 years. Same playbook. Why? So why would you change the playbook? What was it Vince Lombardi that says we're gonna run it till y'all stop it? Was it him that said that coach? Run the same play until they stop you. And that's what the Democrats are doing. Why would they change the strategy? Why would they change the playbook? Because it's working. It's working. Right? That's what little Anakin said, right? When he started up the pod racer. It's working. It's working. They're going to keep doing it. Because it's working. Right? Just keep telling black people, right?
I'm in danger.
I'm in danger. Because the Republican, the boogeyman, they're coming for you. The boogeyman. Now, most black people don't live within 100 miles of a Republican stronghold. We mostly live in urban centers that are run by Democrats, both white and black. Right? Y'all, come on, man. Y'all know I got the references, right? Songs, movies, old school stuff anyway. Yeah. So this, unfortunately though, we won't look at the reality that, wait a minute, our cities are run by Democrats. Democrats are the ones that are pocketing money. Brandon Johnson, Chicago, LaToya Cantrell, New Orleans, Tiffany Henyard, right? Dalton, just go down the list. You want to go find all of the, right? Oh, right. And they Karen Bass, Los Angeles, some of the most well-populated cities, Democrat run. Eric Adams, New York. But come on, right? Come on, the kid. But all of this, we have all of the metropolises, right, on lock. But it's the Republicans' fault that these cities are overrun with crime, poverty, debauchery. It's the Republicans' fault. Okay, right. Okay. And again, because, you know,
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Right. The Democrats have had the House and the Senate and the presidency at multiple points during my lifetime. Reparations in the form of cash payments is what black people have been asking for years. When did they paper up? Oh, but guess what? The migrants come in. Oh, luxury hotels, right? Free health care. Come on, migrants. What else you need, right? All the benefits, food stamps. Baltimore, Maryland is another one, right? That's another city. What you need, migrants? Y'all need us to open up this shelter so y'all can come in and, right? Y'all need citizenship. Y'all need jobs. Right? You want to live off the American dime, right? Of course, but they won't.
So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No.
Ideological slavery must be nice. It must be nice, right? Detroit, yeah, Detroit. Now I've heard that Detroit is getting better though. I've heard that Detroit is getting better. I watched Anton Daniels' show, and he highlights some of the ways that Detroit has actually been improving. Now, yeah, I know New Orleans is not improving. I know that much. Yeah. But they really believe this, guys. They really believe this. Now, let's look at this. These two women are surprising allies, right? Thank you, Jay. What's that? Thank you. I had to post this one. This was funny. I got it. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, man. So, look, I know, guys. I know. Look, now look at this. Surprising allies. Listen to this.
Okay, we're gay, but we're in Barnes & Nobles, and there's a kids book section, a gay kids book section, and this shit is crazy. Look at this. Okay, there's the gay BCs, right? Bye-bye binary. Bye-bye binary with a mohawk on a baby. Gay BCs, you're not ready. Hold us. Okay. What? A is for arrow and ace. B is for bi. This is crazy. We're gay, but this is crazy. What? For a baby? Okay, E is for equality. We'll take that. F is for family. Okay, we're getting better. Okay, why did it start so crazy? Just for hope. It got better. I is for intersex. It's pushing it. For a baby, this is pushing it. J is for joy. J is for joy. We'll take Tio and Tio. That looks nice. Forgot this one. K is for Kiki. Oh wait, I guess there's no gay word for M.
Y'all, they're even recognizing how demonic it is for this agenda to be pushed on children. Right? For the most part, people on the left are just saying, hey, no, this is not what I'm saying, but this is what the left is saying. I mean, on the right, they're saying this. Live how you want to live. You've already got marriage. Just leave the children alone. Right? That's what most people are saying on the right. That's how they were able to pull some of the more moderate Democrats over to the MAGA Trump movement. That's what they softened on that stance, right? Whereas the Christian position is, no. Nah, we don't want any of it going on. Don't be open. Don't be, we don't think that that's a way that God's going to bless this nation. Okay. Now, all of that's under, all of this is under the MAGA umbrella. But even now, when you start seeing they're most likely leftist and they're fine with, obviously they said it at the beginning, we're gay, right? That's what they said. They're recognizing how demonic it is for you to push this to children. This ideology to children. And if they can see it. But we have this professing Christian couple that has made their fortune off of being Christians, right? Chip Gaines and the Gaineses, right? So ask questions, he says. Maybe even learn after, I don't know if y'all are familiar with what's been going on, but they're openly platforming, lifestyles that Christianity says are sinful and abominable. But, you know, they're like, no, wait, hold on. Too much to ask of a modern American Christian culture. Judge first, understand later / never. This is how they gaslight you, right? Jesus is very clear on his stance on porneia, which is the Greek overarching term for all of the sexual ethics of the Old Testament. So when people say Jesus never said anything about homosexuality specifically, he didn't need to, because when he used that word, everyone around him knew exactly what he was talking about. The ethics of the Torah, the sexual ethics of the Torah. But that notwithstanding, they gaslight you into saying that you're not being loving or understanding. No, we understand what the Bible teaches, and we're not going to compromise them on that. Right? So it's a sad Sunday when, quote, non-believers have never been confronted with hate or vitriol until they are introduced to a modern American Christian. So essentially, what's happening is any pushback, y'all know how they redefine terms. Any pushback is considered unloving. If you do not affirm everything that I do and praise me for my chosen lifestyle and have pride and remember we talked about jamming, desensitization, and conversion? Well, he's been converted. Now he's an ally. He's been jammed, called all types of names. Oh, you're a hater. You're judgmental. You're this, you're that. We don't care. That's why you got, when Caleb told me earlier that I've got tough skin, because I've been called all of the names. And eventually you're just like, okay. All right. There you go. I don't care. Call me the names. It's okay. Because I know you're not, it's not true.
You're a liar. You're a liar.
Right. Insensitive. Right? Just, yeah. So again, why should I worry about what people who don't know the scriptures think about the scriptures? I'm not going to take my Christian morals and ethics from non-Christians. But he does. He lets them, he who defines terms wins. So if you let non-Christians define love, remember, you let them define love, then they redefined marriage. You let them tell you what the scripture, Matthew 7:1, judge not. Okay, but keep reading. Just keep reading. Then go and understand what Jesus was talking about and who he was talking to. Don't have the knee-jerk reaction. Oh, you're not loving. Well, no, I am loving. I want to love you. Come here, let me hug you. No. Okay. Now, do you actually want to deal with my claims? The Bible? No? Oh, you just want to call names. Oh, okay. All right. We'll go for it then. I mean, but yeah, they're compromised. And you're going to see so many Christians compromised this way. Now, speaking of being based, Kenyans. Oh, Kenyans. Kenyans have a little bit of black fatigue. Right? I don't know. Kenyans have a little bit of black fatigue. Listen in.
They loved having white Americans in their village. Now I done replaced them. And they are looking at me like, who, you? You that look like us? You're here to help us, to save us? What happened to the white people? And you bald, you ain't got no hair, and you childless, so you really not a woman. In their culture and at that time, you're not a full woman if you don't have children. They loved having white Americans in their village. Now,
Kings based. They're like, you don't even have children and you bald headed. And why are you coming over here? You're not even a real woman. I'm like, what? That is some burn, right? That's like, oh goodness. Because they essentially, African nations pushed back on Barack Obama's his incentivizing them to accept LGBTQ practices. They're like, no, we don't. They don't want our debauchery exported into their country. They're very, very conservative. So you go over there with that nonsense, they're looking at you like, why do you have pink hair? Why are you this late into life, not married? And they have standards over there. And one of the standards is that they're not dealing with this nonsense from black Americans. Right? They're not dealing with it. Now, and their governments were pushing back under Obama. They're going to keep pushing back on it as they try to encroach, right? Remember the interview, Simon Kangwangela, right? And he asked the guy, why are you gay? That infamous that infamous video. They're having these debates live and on television. They're trying to push back against that culture as it tries to encroach on their traditional values, which wish we would have done it. We took the check, though. Right. Protect your culture and your morals. Exactly, Chuck. We took the check, though. That's what LBJ said. LBJ said we're going to have them voting. Right? We're going to have them voting. Have these N-words voting. What was it? Let me see. Have these N-words voting Democrat for how many? What is there? 200 years with 60 down. All right. 60 down and 140 to go. I need to put that on an overlay. Yeah. What Michael Wilbur talking about, Chuck? Let me see. I missed it. I must have been looking the other way. Where is it Michael Wilbur saying? Say, when I grew up, we had Linda Carter, Wonder Woman. Nowadays, you wonder if it's a woman, right? Wonder Woman. When she used to do the turn, she used to turn around and then block all the bullets with her, right? Wonder Woman. And then he had the bicycle and all that other stuff. Yeah, I remember those days. I may not look that old, but I'm there. I remember it. All right. We got I think 4 more things to go before. Yeah, I think we got 7 minutes left. I think we can cash me outside, right? How about that? We had some stuff to talk about with Pfizer, with Pam Bondi dropping the case yesterday. Oh yeah, I didn't do this one. I didn't do this. Okay, I need to. Let's do these. I got 3 more. I know, Caleb, you sent me something, but that's kind of heavy to end the show. I want to see. I'm going to see if I can find it, if I can finish it. All right. But look at this, right? See, this is the kind of stuff that this is one of the reasons why I tip generously. Just being honest. I tip generously because of people like this. Okay?
Don't touch it. Okay, don't touch me. I ain't gonna come out, okay? Why not put him on the You poison.
So, and then there's so many videos out there like this, right? And the perception is, in the main, that black people do not tip. They're very bad clients. And so when we go out, my wife and I, even if it's with all our children and we're spending lots and lots of money, I'm still going to give a nice tip, right? Because I want people to recognize that stereotype isn't always true, right? And I know there are a lot of black people who feel the same way. we get stereotyped based on the behavior of people who unfortunately have a similar skin tone. Right? But all skin folk ain't kinfolk. That's got to be useful for something, right? That don't judge us by them skin folk. Let me close some of these tabs. Got too many tabs open. Get rid of some of these, right? All skin folk ain't kinfolk. And so we want to make sure, look, that's not my kinfolk, y'all. I don't rock with them people. I give good tips. Lord has been good to me. And I'm going to be good to y'all. If you're going to serve my food and you do a good job, you deserve a good tip. Now, I don't believe in obligatory tipping culture where you do nothing and get 30%. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay. Now we're closing in on the end of the show. We're about an hour and a half in. Okay. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this thing that Caleb, you sent me. I'm going to talk about it. All right. We're not going to talk about this as a black fatigue issue, though. We're going to talk about, now that's the full video. I'm going to leave the full video in the rundown. Okay. What's going on, Roger Dodger? Thank you. Happy Sunday to you, too. All right. So we're going to talk about this. Yeah. I don't even want to put this young lady's name in here, but, oh, man. Yeah, I guess I have to. Yeah. Let's do this. I'm going to say. Yeah, we're going to deal with this. Let's talk about it. The longer video will be in, the longer video will be in the rundown. I normally put my rundown in the description of the YouTube video so you can go and watch any of the clips that I talk about or highlight on your own. Okay. So this young woman, let's see. This is Afeni Badu Muhammad in, just listen in. It's a really sad situation.
I got sent home early yesterday. I got sent home early today by the same person. I'm telling you, she's a bully. This shit isn't funny. She needs to understand that just because she's a mother and got children doesn't mean that she can come in the store, disrespecting people, talking to them like everybody's beneath her. She has no respect. I got sent home.
Now, how do we know? Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. Thank you. How do we know how this woman, now, people are going to adjudicate this in the court of public opinion, obviously. Oh, don't talk down to the young lady. Don't do this. Don't do that. Right. We could talk about that. That could also be an issue. She could have, the woman could have spoken to her disrespectfully. But does that mean she deserves to be, right, stabbed? And will this young lady get the $500,000? Will she? Will she get $500,000? That's another question. Or is it because this is a mother of 6, Jennifer Harris, and black, that it doesn't really matter? Maybe that's what it is, right? You see this?
Nah, this stays at home though. I'm not gonna bring this to work because that wouldn't look right, I guess. I got sent home early yesterday. I got sent home early today by the same person. I'm telling you, she's a bully. This shit isn't funny. She needs to understand that just because she's a mother and got children doesn't mean that she can come in the store, disrespecting people, talking to them like everybody's beneath her. She has no respect. And it isn't funny at all. Like, seriously, man, I got shit I got to take care of. And she keeps sending me home early. It's not funny. She's playing games.
So allegedly, she would send her home because she was on TikTok instead of doing her job. That's what's happening, what's being alleged. So at this point, we can't even, as a manager, you can't manage. Or it's disrespect. No, don't talk. Don't you dare talk to me and tell me to do my job. Or if you talk to me and tell me to do my job, you better do it in such a way that I don't feel like you're trying to tell me something. I have bosses that tell me or have told me in the past what I needed to do. And I'm like, okay, that's what you want me to do. This is your business. Who am I to tell you how you, if I want to be in charge, I'll start my own business. So I don't have to ask you or listen to you tell me what to do. But if I don't have the skills to start my own business and I need this wage job, then guess what? I need to do what my boss tells me, as long as they're not telling me to do something that is illegal, immoral, or injurious. So where do we get off? And these young minds have been taught that they can't be corrected, directed. I wish I had another acted. All right. Or subjected. Right. They can't be subject to anybody. Because, yes, that's an acted. I did pull one out of it. But unfortunately, we don't. Now you're going to be told what to do for quite some time by the penal system. You could have just done your job, gone to work, came in, took orders, whatever it was, worked drive-through, the fries, all these other, you could have done that. No, you got to go stabbing people. Instead of handling and processing this like an adult who's under authority. The 6 kids, the mom, the manager had 6 kids, right? Yeah, Jennifer Harris was a mother of 6. This is sad. Right? Yeah. Right? And so guys, look, just so you know, the way I run the show is the most popular stuff. I do it at the front end. And I know what's going to be less popular. And as the show wanes and winds down, so that the viewers wind down with the topics, I do things that are a little bit less popular, that the vast majority of people aren't interested. This happens all the time. Control Delete. So this is how I run my show. I know this may be your first time, but that's how I actually put the rundown together. I know exactly what's going to hit. Yeah. I don't know, maybe he's brand new, but it's my rundown and I'm at the bottom of it right now. I know what's popular. I know what gets the most views. I've had 3,000 people in here at one point when I'm talking about those types of things. So I understand that, but I'm not going to spend the whole 2 hours talking about it. There are other things, right? Yeah, there are other things to talk about. And we want to have, like, my viewers send me things, and yeah, my viewers send me things and I want to cover it. Caleb sent this to me. I wanted to cover it, right? He's a member and a longtime subscriber. And I give preference to people who send, right? Yes. Yeah. Who send this to me, right? So, yeah. And when my people send me, when they send me stuff, my members, if they send me stuff, I get people sending me stuff on Instagram, text message. Caleb text me this. So I put it in the rundown. Right, I've done that multiple times. Caleb can tell you that. He'll send me something and I'll put it in the rundown right before I'm about to go live. So, because he's a member, brother supports the channel. He's been, he's a moderator. He supports the channel. If you want me to talk about the things, hey, send me stuff. I'll, yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, the whole 2 hours. I mean, we talked about it. I guess you came in late. I don't know. You go watch the replay. I don't know. But I guess, again, like I said, just like the McDonald's lady. Yeah. That's a good question. That's a good one. All right. You can actually use the less interesting stories as filler in between the good stories. That's a good suggestion. That's a good suggestion. I might actually start doing that. That's a really good suggestion to keep the interest and views up. But I do actually at the end of the show like the viewers to go down because, yeah, this is actually overtime because it's an hour and 30 minutes. But yeah, that's actually a really good suggestion, Steve O'Mac. And see, I do take suggestions. That's a really good suggestion. I may start putting that stuff in the in-between. Yes. Yep. All right. Yeah. Yep. So, Let's see. All right, so that was that. Let me see. There's one other thing. I think I had one other thing to talk about. Yeah, before I finish up, because I put them in the I put them in the thumbnail, and I want to at least talk about that. Now I know a lot of people. This is why I saved this to the last thing, right? Yeah, because not many people are interested in the WNBA, but you know, what's it? Yeah. WNBA drama. I know many people are not interested in it, but I find it. Yes, Caitlin Clark. That's right. All right. So this, you see these pictures? There was the dust up that happened. Let's look at the original video of the first of this of the fight that happened. Right. Let's see. All right. So some stuff goes on right here between CC and what's her name? Oh man, I forget the girl's name, the young lady's name. Yeah. Anyway, but let's look in. All right, here it is. Oh, it must be. Oh, the video's muted. I think that's a good idea because they might come after you, right? But you saw that, right? Okay, it's not fully muted. Okay, it was just that first part. I do remember that now. Yeah. Right, but you see, and control delete. I don't delete people. I don't ban people. Yeah, so I don't have any hidden users. So you'll be welcome here. Yeah, you'll be welcome here as long as you respect everybody in the chat. And yeah, I mean it is what it is. If you're willing to sit here for an hour and a half and listen to me talk and comment, I'm willing to let you. I'm not gonna. That's how this happened. That's how I've gone over 4,000 subs in almost 4,000 subs in 2 weeks. Because I'm not blocking anybody. If y'all want to come in and come on, bring it in. That's it. Bring it in. Okay. So this happened. Now, the young lady, the one who you see whose hand is right here, right? Grabbing Caitlin Clark's hair, right? Right, pushing her in the back, right? There's multiple different angles and pics of this, right? Let's look at this before we listen to the video of her response. Okay, so look at this. They're sandwiching CC right there. They're jamming her up in the back, right? Marina Mabry body checks her, right? Yeah. So we got another one. This one, what is this one? Is that the same one? I think that's the same one. No, it's this one. Yeah. So you can see the hair being pulled again. Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Steve O'Mac, tell him. If you've been around for, yeah. I really don't. Yeah, I mean, I'll let you get your, I mean, the insults off and everything. It is what it is, right? You got to do what you do. I never claim to know everything. Like people come in and ask these random questions and want me to answer like a history questionnaire. And I'm like, everybody doesn't know every random point of history. I'm not a historian. I do have several history books here and we teach. But I mean, if I got to prove my bona fides by knowing every little detail of things that you know, I've learned long since. I could do the same thing to you and ask you some esoteric things that I've studied in theology and you would have no idea. But it is what it is. I mean, but people want to prove how smart they are. And I'm not trying to do that. All right. So, but you see this Sports Illustrated, right? Or they're trying to prove that they're smarter than you. And I'm like, well, go for it. If you're a professional historian, awesome. I'm a professional coder. I could probably ask you some questions about coding that you'd have no idea about. But I mean, I'm not going to do that. I'm not trying to prove my area of expertise in music and in coding and tech stuff and theology aside. Like, yeah, anyway. So people saying that she flopped. It's like, okay, yeah, right. Yeah. All right. But it's all, if you saw that video, but let's listen into the response, right? So here we go. They're going cracking up and kikiing.
But insert pictures here. I sent you these pictures after, you know, the big, what was it? The scrum, Connecticut Sun versus Indiana Fever.
They were like
I feel like it was like the perfect depiction of New York at the start. Because you were like, no, no, no.
Yeah, I was like, yo.
You had your finger, yeah.
And then what's crazy is everybody's like, yo, you punched it in the back. And I'm like, nah, I was just like.
I know, so that's the funny part.
You got it.
Clip number 1, or slide number 1, Tina going, yo.
Like, yo, chill out, watch yourself. Just watch yourself.
This is right after JC and Caitlyn got into a little bit.
Like,
you see Caitlyn pushing, and you go, yo.
Yeah,
to
just
Caitlyn.
watch yourself.
Then Mabry comes in.
Yeah, Marina go
Caitlyn,
Marina though.
Yeah, knocks her down. And then you see Tina go, it wasn't me. Immediately.
But yeah, I'm still like talking my shit like, yeah, just chill out.
Yo, I was crying.
I know, everybody was
I was crying. It was that all angle you needed.
Everybody was like, yo, you took her back to Southside Jamaica, Queens.
I mean, these people are, and who says it? The only reason, right? I mean, it's virtually the only reason anyone watches the WNBA is because of Caitlin Clark. And these people are doing everything they can to make sure that someone had a great post. I think I saved it. I think I saved it in my bookmarks, but they made a great point. Right? This is I want to find it because it was such a well encapsulated statement that highlights the idiocy of the WNBA owners, players, and coaches for the most part when it comes to, because I want to give this person credit. All right. Oh man. It was really good. The person said, I'll have to say it because I didn't save it. But he said, I started watching the WNBA because of Caitlin Clark. I stopped watching the WNBA because of the WNBA. That's essentially what happens. People have just stopped, like they're going to stop watching because the WNBA players themselves are and the refs. I forgot the refs too. Yes, the refs are a part of the problem. And so you have this once in a generation female player that men are actually interested in watching and women are actually interested in watching. And she comes into this deeply black, lesbian, hate-filled league, and the worst she's 3 of the worst things that you can be: good, white, and straight. Right? Good, white, and straight. And she's 3 strikes and she's out. Yeah, they don't want to accept that she's the golden goose. Exactly. They would much rather be in obscurity, having their, sexcapades in their largely LGBTQ league where nobody paid attention to them so they could wag the finger at people for not watching. They would much rather have that be their reality so that they can grandstand and virtue signal, and instead of having popularity, a well-run league that's profitable, they don't want that. They would much rather the opposite. Just continue to live in obscurity as a league that nobody pays attention to. So, yeah, they just don't want to succeed. And what they're doing right now is telling the rest of the world, please stop watching us because we hate your kind here. We don't want your kind here. We don't want the eyes of people who want to see Caitlin Clark play, right? We don't want the tres leches, right? The 3 milks, right? That's what that's the Sophie Cunningham picture. I'm gonna find it, right? Yeah. Let's see. Where's the photo? Yeah. The Sophie Cunningham picture. This was the worst thing, right, that they could promote. Right? Tres leches, right? Right. Caitlin, Lexi, and Sophie. That's the worst thing. Yeah. Yeah. So you're doing all of that, and people are going to stop. Eventually, they're going to stop watching. Yeah. Eventually, they're going to stop watching. And Cece is now injured. She's fighting through injury, so they're just going to. She's going to struggle through this entire season, and her coach still isn't using her to the best of her abilities. So, and we got one last thing to talk about. Yes, and then we'll be done for the night. All right. This is. Hold on one second.
Is it worth it?
I'm going to read this one after This is insanity. Okay. Ratchet Fatigue. All right. Look at this. Man in North Carolina goes with his, his sister? Yeah, with his sister. 2 hours ago.
Is it worth it? Oh, yeah, it's worth it. If you're strong enough.
2 baskets worth of stuff. EBT. And then again, EBT and WIC. And this is y'all see what I'm saying? It ain't just a black thing, right? So everybody tells me I hate black women, right? That's what you're right, because
and you ain't black.
Right? Yeah, I ain't black, right? Yeah, I ain't black, right? So, yeah, thank you, Renee, thank you. So, we're not. This is. We looked at the statistics of ethnic groups on these specific. We looked at that, I think, 2 episodes ago. Of the ethnic groups on these specific social programs. So this is not a black situation. This is a problem of indigence. People don't want to work, and if you incentivize indigence. This is one of the reasons why Americans who work hard and want to try to achieve the American dream, buy a home, marry someone, have multiple kids, leave something to the next generation. This is why we're so fatigued. We're fatigued on every side. You've got immigrants coming in. You've got indigents who are citizens who live here and are milking the system. Then you get immigrants coming in who want to milk the system. You get people complaining about billionaires and millionaires. And I'm like, well, we're actually trying to level up into that stratosphere. I want to be in the top. I've been in the top 10% for years. I'm steadily trying to move into the top 5%. I want to keep climbing. I want to make more money because I want to leave something for my children. I'm not trying to sit on my behind and take from those who do work. And we have people who post videos about the pride they have. It was EBT and WIC. EBT and WIC. That's what it says, right? Yeah. The total was $833, right? Man in North Carolina went shopping with his sister who has EBT and WIC. She films her shopping cart because he's surprised by the amount of food she's able to get. So much food, they need a second shopping cart. The total was $833. Not many working families could afford this. WIC and EBT, that's what she got. Okay? Now, if you believe it or not, that's what it is, right? Yes, I want to get richer. Yes, I want the rich to get richer because I want to keep getting richer. I'm fine with that. It's fine. I know it's amazing that people want to keep their own jobs, keep their own money. I know we're so selfish, but
I just want some money.
I just want my money. I just want my money. I want to keep my money. And call me selfish all you want. I want Elon to keep his money. I want Jeff Bezos to keep his money. I want Bill Gates to keep his money. Because I want to keep.
I just want some money.
My money. I like keeping what I earned. I want them to keep their money. I don't want their money. I'm not covetous. That's actually a sin. Right? Yeah. Because if I keep my money, then I can decide what to do with it. I can be charitable with my own money. It's not charitable for me to allow the government to take 35% of my money and dole it out to whoever they feel like they want to have it. Because then that is how you get a situation like this, where people are milking the system and refusing to work, thereby they're committing sins and I'm supporting it. See, this is the warped mindset of the left. They've taught you that taxation is your morality, that you handing your money over to the government makes you virtuous. That's absolutely insane. That the social safety net supporting it makes you virtuous. Right? So you all want billionaires to not have what they earned. Is that what you're saying? You're saying you don't want a billionaire, because he's a billionaire, to keep his money. Because there are videos on this all over the place. What's the best word to he'll figure it out, because there's a bunch of videos. Yeah, fair share, right? Bottom 20% pays -2, refund via credits. Second 20% pays 1%. Middle 20% pays 7. Fourth 20%, 14. Top 20%, middle class essentially, pays 80%. Top 10%, break down that, pays approximately 70%. Top 5% pays 60. Top 1% pays 45%. Top 0.0 pays approximately 25%. What's their fair share? Because you talking about poor people, they ain't paying no taxes. What are y'all talking about? The lies that you all believe are insane. Are insane. You act like the person working at McDonald's is the one that's keeping this country afloat in with their tax revenue. It's not hard to just go and debunk this. The data is right there. I don't understand why y'all want to remain ignorant. It's right there. They're not. Right. People without money don't pay taxes. Exactly. The shock Pikachu. I had to put that one up there. You telling me all these broke people that's on, they're the ones paying all the taxes. And y'all say the rich need to pay their fair share. How much more do they need to pay to make y'all happy? It's never enough. That's the problem. It'll never be enough because essentially they want.
I just want some money.
Your money. If you're rich, they want your money. Yeah, exactly. And all they're going to do now is insult because the facts don't agree with them. So now they're going to insult, right? It is what it is. This came directly from where? Look, you can go get the sources right here. It tells you right there. When you want to get the sources, you copy the table. You can go get the sources, right? If you want to go, just go. I mean, I'll put the link in the description. Hold on one second. You can go and check it. Check the work. It really is like I just use this like Google, right? People say billionaires should be illegal, right? You sound like Bernie Sanders, right? Like Bernie Sanders. And he said billionaires should be illegal. Well, millionaires, he was saying, should be illegal until he became a millionaire. And then he says, right. Oh, goodness. Yeah. All right. So that was, let's see, I think that was everything. All right. Yeah, because it's almost that time. Let's see. Yeah. All right. We got back. Let's get back to this. What was this one? That was this. Yeah. We're going to move this. Close some of these tabs, y'all, before we go. Yes. And so we're having to explain ourselves. Now, I found this tweet this post because this guy posted, he asked Grok, and then we'll end it with here. If I divorced my wife and left her with 3 kids, how much would she get from the government? And he says, here's the maximum: 973 EBT, 800 WIC, TANF 900, 1,500 Section 8 rent assistance, 2,000 Medicaid, $6,173 total. It cost us over $6,000 a month to stay married. This is one of the reasons why, women are the ones who initiate divorce over 80% of the time, right? Because they know that there's a social safety net that will support them in addition to the husband being responsible for alimony for at least a year, and then child support until the child turns 18. And then there's this elephant that's always out there tempting them. It used to be a big deal to get divorced because you were cutting off your ability to be cared for in a more rugged society. Now that the social safety net has said that we will take care of women regardless of whatever reason they want to leave their husbands, and we will still make the husbands pay for everything, you have this. No fault divorce. Thanks, Ronald Reagan. We have all of the history that is slanted towards making marriage harder because, again, the marriage contract is not one that it should not be easily dissolved, but it is now easily dissolved. And again, a woman knows that she can get a lot of this and still have the husband pay for, if she decides to leave, pay for the children and pay for everything while she goes and finds another man to. It's kind of hard, right? It's kind of hard to keep marriages going when it's incentivized. Divorce is incentivized. You will get what you incentivize. That's why the Great Society programs of Lyndon Baines Johnson have been an extremely successful program, right? To incentivize indigence. So lazy people get rewarded. And now you got no fault divorce and the social safety net supporting women who decide they don't want to stick it out with their husbands. Okay. Yeah. It's just not worth it, right? Anyway, we're going to close it out. Thank you to everybody for sticking in with us. We got over our goal of 10,000 subscribers on this episode. Thank you again to everyone. We got 10,000 subs on this episode. It is all because of your engagement and everything that you continue to do in the comments, whether positive or negative, liking the videos, commenting negative or positive. Grateful to you all for all of the support. I hit my year-end goal in 2 weeks. Couldn't have done it without you all. All right. Until next time, be on the alert. Stand firm in the faith. Act like men. Be strong. See y'all around. Bye.